Hello and welcome to Surveyor Says, the podcast from the National Society of Professional Surveyors. Each week, we bring you fascinating guests that are involved in the profession of surveying. We cover a lot of ground, including Table Lay Talk with Gary Kent, Point of Order with the NSPS Joint Government Affairs Team, Future Focus, highlighting current and future leaders of the profession, and everything survey-related in between. Thanks for joining us here on the podcast, and hope you enjoyed listening to this episode of Surveyor Says. Hello and welcome to another episode of Surveyor Says. My name is Tim Burch, and today we're going to do a little tech talk. Part of what, and I think what surveyors now take for granted, is that yes, we deal with our equipment suppliers, we deal with our data collectors, our total stations, our GPS, all these things. One thing I think that goes by the wayside is the actual data transfer and the communications for that. For our data collections and how important it is, especially after having submitted ourselves to the COVID years and remote working, which surveyors are actually we're perfect for that because we love working remotely anyway. But anyway, we've got the Data Activation Center is the name of the company. Is that correct, Kelly?
Yes. A lot of people have shortened us to DAC.
DAC. Okay, very good. These are the ladies that are behind a company that offer telecommunications and that those data transfer services, cellular services that we typically we go down to our local cell phone store and we get the SIM card and do whatever. These ladies are the pros. So I'm going to turn it over to Kelly Wingham, and
I'm Chandy Sayre.
Chandy Sayre. Okay, so Kelly, let's start with you. You're the founder of the company. Tell us a little bit about DAC.
I will, and I am the founder. I think I better add in here now. I'm actually Kelly Wingham Dyson. I got married 2.5-3 years ago, so I'm making that transition to a name change. Started the company. We're celebrating 13 years in business this May 1st.
Very good.
We've had some big ups and downs, and we're on a big uptake right now. We're really scaling for a lot of new growth, but the company was founded after a real need was recognized. I was working as a data consultant for a large wireless carrier. I've worked for a few over the years, and I kept getting called out to the field to troubleshoot these, we'll call them intelligent gadgets, modems,
right?
And the thing is, it's not rocket science. It's just that no one's really trained on how to speak the language and talk to the end user. So I said, hey guys, I get it. I understand this. There's a big need here. But the carrier said, no, we don't want it. We just want to focus on the low-hanging fruit, as they always do. So I said, I'm tapping out. I'm going to do this because we need to do this. It started out with just agriculture. Chandy and I, we're sisters, and we grew up in small town Indiana. We love the farmers. We love the ag community, and somebody needed to step up and just take care of those that were taking care of us, meeting our basic human needs. It's like, let's make this easy for them. So I created an easy way for users of precision guidance technology to connect to whatever carrier, the embedded module said they had to connect to, and a great layer of tech support. So in its infancy, that's all we did.
Right. Well, good. And I think that's what, and what we talked about a little bit offline to start. Surveyors seem to think that we've got this, we've got a monopoly on the whole data collection, when which realistically, your client base is 100-fold bigger than surveyors ever are. So you do have a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge base to work off of that can really transfer and help the surveying community as well.
Well, and it did very quickly. It morphed into that, but I don't want to step on Chandy's toes. Do you want to do an intro to her first before I get into everything?
Chandy, let's go with that. Go with you, because and sisters. I mean, I don't know how well do sisters work together in firms?
I'm older than her and kind of boss her around a little bit, maybe.
Well, that always helps. That always helps.
Hey, thanks for having us. Yeah, my name is Chandy Sayre. Kelly kind of approached me back in 2016 and said, "Hey, I need some help over here at DAC." And I'm like, no, I wasn't quite ready to leave the interior design industry quite yet. But I decided to go ahead and make that leap of faith in February of 2017. So that's when I officially started my career with DAC. Kelly was kind of needing somebody in the tech support, arena, and I really wrapped my arms around it. I just learned as much as I possibly could about these, modems that the ag industry, the construction industry, and surveyors were using out there. It was a challenge for me, and I loved every minute of it. So that's what I was kind of onboarded for, is to help with tech support.
Hold on. I'm going to step on you, Chandy, here, because Chandy rocks the tech support. the business started in 2012. We almost folded in December of 2015 because of some carrier changes, just the way they paid their agents. So we did a big business model change January 1st of 2016. And it meant it's called an MVNO, a true reseller, wholesaler of the company, of the carriers. And I was the only one at the time that knew how to do real in-depth tech support. And I couldn't breathe from the moment I woke up till the moment I went to bed at midnight. It was all tech support. I'm like, guys, I got to have somebody. Shandy's always had my back. She was an interior designer. Who would have thought she would have become the tech support guru? But she just wrapped her arms around it and just lived it, breathed it, and just became it, and has done a phenomenal job.
Well, and I'll jump in here and say that how important that is to, well, any business, but especially in what this arena that you're talking about, because, and while I can't imagine what it's like for agriculture, construction, all of these others, all I can speak is the surveying world for the last several years. But the number of hours that I've had crews sitting in the wireless stores trying to figure out the configurations on things with SIM cards and such. So to be able to actually talk to somebody that actually knows what they're doing and really understands what customer service and customer support is about. Well, Chandy, I applaud you for staying out in front of it, because that I like everything else. Time is money, and if you're saving people time, you're saving people money, and you're getting them solutions quicker. So that is good. So, but no, Chandy, tell us a little bit more about what you've been doing as far as working with various clients, and how this has really evolved over time.
Sure, I'd be happy to. Like I said, I started working in 2017, learned as much as I could about, the DAC and data. I knew nothing about it. So I really wrapped my arms around it, really wanted to engage all the dealers out there that had a need for tech support, had a need to really help their end users, their customers. They sell this expensive equipment, but then how do we get it activated quickly? You just don't want to ship them off with this equipment and say, okay, go to your brick and mortar store at a Verizon or AT&T or whomever and try to get this thing activated. So that's where DAC came to make it so easy and so painless and seamless transition to get something like that activated. But that's what we do, and we do it the very best out there by offering those easy activations, and within minutes it can be activated. And my main core, what I enjoy doing is building those relationships with those dealers, the manufacturers, and keeping them up to date, so we can keep our customers up to date on the latest firmware, maybe the latest improvements for their types of devices. But that's what I enjoy doing, is building those relationships with all the dealers, manufacturers out there.
All right. Okay. Well, so I'll tell you what. So tell us a little bit about DAC. I mean, as far as, obviously we're talking about telecommunications, being able to be able to get that data collection, be as efficient as possible. So what separates a DAC from any of the other wireless carriers? I mean, SIM card's a SIM card and service is service,
Yeah.
right? Well, tell us how
Okay, I'll take
your
this.
difference. Yep. Kelly,
I'll
you're
take
up.
this
Go
one.
for it.
Okay, so it's becoming more and more evident in this world, especially getting through COVID, that not many people really care about the customer service experience. When is the last time someone really looked forward to calling their cell phone company or a cable company? It doesn't happen.
Exactly.
But it does happen with us. People are excited to call us. They tell us all the time. I get testimonies and thank you saying, man, you changed the way my day was, the way you answered the phone. I mean, so the difference is our true white glove customer service experience. You're right. It's not rocket science. If someone can get a good contact at the carrier, they can figure this out. Will that person always be there? No, but that's how people are kind of
Right.
limping along. They're finding a contact and they're texting them and calling them and getting service. But as far as having a relationship with a team that can actually provide a tailored, customized customer service experience for end users of machine controlled devices. Like, we know the language, we know what's needed. Manufacturers teach us how to troubleshoot your device. So if you call the carrier, they might have a knowledge base place they go to pull out a tutorial, a step-by-step, but we're trained. Right. We know this stuff. We can do it in our sleep. So you're getting not only better data rates on the best networks, you're getting a true team of people that can provide customer service at your level, whether it's in the field, on the phone, in a truck, wherever you need that, whether it's at 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock at night, we've got you. You don't have to be handed off and transferred and handed off again, let alone pressing 2 for another language. But in addition to that, we are now really scaling for huge growth because we're moving into something more. You haven't heard about us because we've been flying under the radar all these years. The first 5 or 6 years, it was very intentional. I didn't want anybody to know what I was doing, didn't want it replicated. Now that we're in it, somebody might think they're crazy even trying to get in this world, because developing a billing platform to read all these, the analytics, the robust reporting, it's a massive undertaking.
Oh, sure.
It's not for the faint of heart. It is not. There's other things that you have to consider, like the tax rating engines. There's just all these components people don't really think about when it comes to our piece of the business. But kind of getting sidetracked here. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Well, and I guess, that to me, that's the biggest part of it, is because, we're carrying around these cell phones, and, and unfortunately that's one of the main places that a surveyor is using this as a hotspot or whatever. I mean, we're getting more and more of our professionals putting direct SIM cards into their data collectors and such. But let's be honest, we're getting away from voice. Nobody wants to talk to anybody anymore. Everything's data, everything, and it's pushing it as fast and as much as we possibly can. So to me, I think that speaks to what your core services are, is really data communications. Isn't that kind of what I'm hearing?
Oh, absolutely. Hands down. Right. We don't do anything with voice. There's no need to have voice services for the devices that we support, because we are, when we started 13 years ago, the buzzword, the keyword was machine to machine. It's all IoT now.
Right.
But we still define, like when we're qualifying a customer to say, let's talk about how you use this. If it's a one-off, manufacturer and we've not been trained on it, we have a discussion. How do you use it? How often do you use it? How many minutes? How many, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, it's really, it's about data transfer, data communication. and I guess part of a question I have for the company itself is, and you said you're a reseller basically of various networks. So I guess you're able to look at where a existing or potential client is and go, this network will work best for you, or this area is, you're able to tailor to each client what they're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, to date, we are making big changes in 2023, but to date, we've been a referral only business. So although we are well equipped and have the tools at our fingertips to inform someone who we think they should go with in terms of the carrier, by the time they get us, the manufacturers either shipped our SIM card or told them in a user's guide, hey, contact the folks at Data Activation Center and they'll set you up. So they're already coming to us with a device that has an embedded radio that says, I will only talk to this carrier, or I'll talk to multiple carriers.
Right.
So we're really on the receiving end right now of processing an order. Think of us as maybe just really polished professional virtual assistants, order takers, but we are moving into having to have more of those discussions with people because we're no longer referral business. We have hired a team of consultants that are helping us scale for growth, not only in, surveying, but other areas. So we'll be having, you'll see us on social media, podcasts, a lot of SEO, development, excuse me, and new rate plans. There's new offers coming. So we will be able to offer.
Well, I guess that's one thing that I do like about this, about the service that you're offering here is that, that was, one thing about, whether we even take, if a surveyor takes a data collector into their local wireless store, it just, unfortunately, there's a lot of upselling of, well, here, you need the latest iPhone. No, I don't. I need a SIM card that does this. Well, hey, but you need this accessory. No, I don't. I need a SIM card to go in this data collector. And so, because that is your business, I think that it really helps streamline it for the surveying, the surveying professional. And it really makes more sense to be able to try to stay that route, because that's going to be the most effective service. And you've got Chandy there to help troubleshoot anything, right?
And we've got Shandy. If you look at the Urban Dictionary and look up Shandy, it says everybody needs a Shandy.
Yep.
You can edit that, please.
But it's true. Everything's changing. We've moved from analog to digital. We've moved from different layers of technology, 1X, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, and now, smaller bandwidth, IoT offerings. It's not just a pager, a text messaging, a flip phone. It was your BlackBerry, and then your iPhone. Now it's drones.
Mm-hmm.
Smart appliances, smart cars. And depending on what Google search you land on, one will tell you there's going to be 25 billion connected devices by 2025. Another one will tell you 75 billion. Just know it's going to be billions upon billions. And this connectivity is always going to be a necessity. It's always going to be a need. The problem right now is every little gadget or device needs a connection. And so a person ends up with a gazillion different subscriptions. Where we're moving to is a model that will allow our existing clients in surveying, construction, agriculture, the markets that we kind of hone in on, we'll be able to also connect some of those smart appliances or other gadgets to their DAC account. So we're working on new rate plans to help streamline it for the end users. They don't need 1,000 different subscriptions.
Very good. Well, I guess, so I'm going to turn this around a little bit to, okay, so we're now looking at the surveying profession.
Yeah.
And we're now more than ever, surveyors we are buying more sophisticated equipment. We are collecting a lot more data simply because of the sophistication of the equipment. But bottom line is it still needs that data communication, because so much of our geospatial, the reference frames that we're working in to tie stuff down is through data communications. Tell me a little bit, how can a surveyor really leverage this communication, this opportunity with DAC to really make their devices, that much more seamless, that much more reliable, based upon the services and the capability that DAC offers?
We can offer that. We can answer that two different ways. I'll probably let Chandy take this answer because she's really hands-on front line.
Hey, that's a great question. So how we make it so simple is because, first of all, we're not a brick and mortar. We're no stores. We don't have salespeople. We have no extra overhead for anybody to pay for the means of, more data plans, deals for you. We're strictly just here as a friend for the surveyors, ag, and construction to get things activated easily. And there's 3 ways to go about it. You can log in if you don't feel like chatting with anybody. You can log in, go to our website, dataactivationcenter.com. You can hit the Activate Now button, and that's where you can put in your information. You could be an existing customer or maybe a new customer. Just simply fill out that form. Give us the SIM card number if you already have one. If not, we'll ship you one. Tell us, what type of device we're activating for you. You hit submit, poof, it comes over to us. We get it done for you in minutes. It's no headaches. It's simple. Or, a lot of customers feel like, hey, they're going to call us as they're driving down the road and say, hey, I want to create an account. We get that done for you in minutes, not hours, not days. Or you can simply email us at orders@dataactivationcenter.com. Simple, just simple ways of getting things connected in minutes. That's what we specialize in for our customers. But we become friends with them. They're just not a number to us. They are sincere friends. We keep in touch with them. We call them if they have a question or concern about their data. Am I on the right data plan? Well, let me call you back towards the end of this month, Mr. Customer, and let's figure this out. Let's see if we can help save you some. So we not only activate these devices, we also sincerely care about our customers and their data plans.
Well, I guess that's what I like about it is that it is strictly data, and we're not worried about, like you said, upgrading you to the latest iPhone, or do you have visual voicemail, or do you have all of there's none of that stuff. It's talking about data, and that's what the surveying community really truly needs to know, that they have that reliability. It's one thing we do have our own environmental issues from time to time with satellite coverage and just wonky radios in our GPS and our robotic total stations. But that if the data connection is there, and that's one less thing to worry about, because we know that it's a solid connection,
reliable.
That's one less headache that the surveying community can really hang their hat on.
Well, that's correct. We do the exact opposite of what other data providers do or don't do. We do the exact opposite. So trust me, just try us. Give us a call.
All right. Well, okay. So we've got, for the most part, between 4 and 5G across the country right now with everything. Where do you see the future of data communications going? And, how much more robust is it going to be in the short term? And what you have anything you can even, I won't even say predict, but what do you think about it's going to be long term down the road? I mean, obviously it's not going away.
No, it's not going away. And to be honest with you, for this podcast, Tim, you might want to, I know what I'm talking on right now, but you might want to give me a moment to consult with my folks at the carriers, because I did not hear back from them. I did, as far as what's it going to be like in 10 years from now? Because I don't know. What we're planning for DAC is the next 5 years, because it's changing so quickly. What they say is going to happen today or tomorrow, it changes before it gets there. So to get, to see what the carriers, what Kool-Aid they are giving everyone to drink, I need a little bit more time, but It's huge amounts of small connections. Almost like if you could imagine this really tight mesh network wrapping itself around the globe. I mean, everything's going to be connected on this mesh. We will have
Exactly.
a piece of that mesh, this platform that we're building out for all of our end users, which is really exciting, by the way. Everything you'll get to see and do with this data. But we're going to have a piece of that mesh.
Oh, exactly. And I guess that's part of, and I'm glad you said that because that's part of what I'm looking forward to. The expansion of 5G, get rolling into 6G eventually and whatever down the road.
Right.
I even look at it as far as, an office, my house, the whole mesh idea of even I bought a new Wi-Fi system for my house and it's a mesh throughout the house. Bottom line is, so I have better connectivity throughout the house. So as we expand these cellular networks going forward, 5G, 6G, and up to whatever G, it's only going to get denser and denser. And yeah, I'm with you. I'm excited for the future because it's going to offer so much more capability, so much more opportunities, especially and. It provides that much more of an opportunity for the device makers to expand on whatever remote sensing is going to be next.
It's exciting. It really is. It's like, what's the next big thing coming?
Yes.
Maybe exactly. We won't get to touch it, but I'm still very interested in what the automations and everything that's out there is really cool.
Exactly. All right. So if somebody's interested in DAC, where can they find you?
Jump all over this. You can go to www.dataactivationcenter.com. You can call us toll free in the United States at 866-966-8881. You can also email orders or support at dataactivationcenter.com. Shandy's name is Chandy, by the way. Actually, there's 10 of us, and we are always here ready to serve you. If you are not greeted with the world's sweetest message, have you ever heard that, Tim? Have you heard our greeting?
No, I don't think I have. I'll have to call it and check it out.
We are very intentional in making sure that whoever calls us gets a really warm hug. So you should hear something like, "Hi, it's another wonderful day at Data Activation Center. How may I direct your call, or what can I do for you today?"
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll get all of those addresses in the show notes. That way people know to get a hold of you. Bottom line is that you've had such success in other industries with data, with data communications. I think it only makes sense. And like I said, I think you're such an untapped resource for the surveying profession, and especially as the profession really decides to open its eyes and get more and more into real-time data. I think it's something that everyone, all of our listeners, all of our professionals need to at least give it a look and see what DAC can do for you.
Thank you, Tim. And just so you know, we love our customers. Any new employee we onboard, they're like, "Wow, you have the best customers ever. Our surveyors are fantastic." As long as we just do what we say we're going to do in a very timely manner, everyone's happy.
You got it.
Science. Just do the right thing the first time. Thank you so much.
Well, we appreciate it.
Thank you, Tim.
Well, Chandy, I appreciate you reaching out and really basically opening our eyes to what's out there, because I think that's, like we've talked about, this is the one place where I don't think surveyors have really taken all that seriously. It's just one of those necessary evils to go to the wireless store to get the SIM card or get a hotspot or whatever. And DAC is just making it that much easier and that much more of an enjoyable experience to be able to put this together. So we look forward to working with you down the road. And like I said, we'll let's check back in. We'll check back in soon and see if we actually we're gonna prod those surveyors to get out there and reach out and get that data communications a little more streamlined. I think this is something that they really need to look into.
Well, we're looking forward to becoming more involved with the NSPS, and we're going to be at the TAPS. I believe that one is in Tennessee. There's another convention we're going to be a part of, which is in North Carolina. So those events are coming up. So we're looking forward to whether it be sponsoring something going on, and actually getting out there and meeting our customers that we talk to day to day, but actually seeing them at those expos and trade shows. So we're really looking forward to that as well.
Well, that's great, because bottom line is the profession needs industry partners, and besides just a service that's badly needed, well, we appreciate the friendliness. Absolutely, do that. So, all right. Well, that'll wrap us up for this episode of Surveyor Says. We'll check back in with the ladies and make sure that you, Mr. Surveyor, Miss Surveyor out there, we're checking in with them and see about services. So,
thank you.
Thanks for this week. We've got a lot of great episodes coming up. Stick around, subscribe wherever you listen, and we'll talk soon. You've been listening to the Surveyor Says podcast, brought to you by the National Society of Professional Surveyors. If you have any questions about today's episode or any other topic, please email us at info@nsps.us.com, and we are here to help. Visit our website, nsps.us.com, to learn more about our association, the programs we administer and support, our sustaining members, and information about future episodes of Surveyor Says. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Spotify, as well as our podcast host, Podbean. And remember, it's a great day to be a surveyor.